Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends, lore, and crazy stories that always seem to take place in Florida. Listen, this is the first episode of year 4.
Year 4. We made it to year 4.
Yeah, that's like a human baby living to 4.
I know. Very, very similar.
Or anything, yeah.
Here's the thing. This is also our first night in our brand new studio.
Yes. Yeah.
It's expansive.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And
it might sound bigger.
It may sound bigger.
Yeah. It should sound bigger through your car speakers right now.
That's right.
Auditorium.
Right.
It's a much bigger space, and it is definitely a step up. And for our show,
it's also under construction still. So.
Yes, so we're not live streaming this week because it is under construction. But in the next week or so, it'll be finalized, and you'll be seeing a lot more of us, baby.
Yes, you will.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
I'm sorry.
Up close and personal. We spent a lot of money and time on this new studio and some new tech for you guys to see us better.
Because of Patreon. Patreon is the only reason we could do this new studio.
Completely because of Patreon, because we don't accept sponsors for companies that we don't love.
That's right. And so you guys take care of us, and so we're able to do bigger and better things. And that's all of you guys. We love you. We appreciate you. And also, as a special treat, Cameron has promised an extra headline tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking 17 headlines tonight.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, you're really cutting it thin then, huh?
Oh, 18.
Let's do it.
Let's see what
Come
we
on.
can do. Let's do it. Okay, headlines. All right, you guys know that you usually have a restaurant that you go to for like one specific thing, right?
The spaghetti.
Like you go to
Boston Market.
Boston Market, what's your go-to?
Rotis all day.
Right.
Every time. And
Every
so what
time.
happens if they take that rotisserie chicken away and you go to that restaurant?
I get unhappy.
You're upset.
Right.
Yeah.
This happened to this Florida man. He went into a hibachi buffet.
Okay.
And they
Pinellas
removed
Park.
hibachi?
Well, no, but they didn't have the sushi that he specifically wanted that
that's
day.
kind of...
And he became so upset that he started flipping all of the other sushi trays that were on the buffet, just flipping them.
That's not going to get your
destroying
sushi to appear.
the entire buffet
If
line.
I can't have the sushi, you guys can't have the sushi.
That's
Is that
I
what
think
he
that's
said?
the exact quote that I
Oh
have
my
in this
gosh.
article.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, he then walked up to the front of the store and battered. Battered is a strong word. The store manager who was recording the sushi flipping escapade. It doesn't really go into what battered means in this situation. It could be a lot, like tempura.
I think tempura is what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, I mean, just going off of like the tempura shrimp sushi.
Yeah.
And so,
you think he got behind the counter and was breading fish for the
I
restaurant?
think
He was breading the manager.
Breading the manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Intending to fry him and put him on a bed of rice.
That's attempted murder.
That is. Anyways, he went straight to jail. Property damage of $250. That's a lot of sushi.
It shows you how much overhead, though.
A lot of cheap sushi, probably.
I
was
don't
gonna
want to
say,
be the
that's-
guy to tell him, but there's not a lot of sushi in jail. Not a lot. Yeah, I think it's only like cucumber roll. And then you're like, is this even count as anything?
It's just a cucumber.
Yeah, just a cuke.
In a pile of rice.
Tip to tip.
And you got to trade 2 packs of cigarettes for it. So
it's worth it, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Super fresh. Anyways, our next headline, we have a Florida man.
Yeah.
Man, he real baddie. He comes up to this woman that's standing on the side of the road waiting for an Uber.
Okay.
And this Florida man decides, I guess I'll steal her purse. She's just standing there on the side of the road, so I'll steal her purse. And as soon as he starts stealing her purse and she resisted just a little bit, he pulls out a sock filled with rocks. And hit her.
Don't
with
like
it.
that.
No way.
So
don't like that at all.
For a purse that held $400 worth of stuff, this
still don't like
poor
it. Not
woman got beat with a sock full of rocks.
Right.
Like honestly, I can't think about the momentum you could get with like a tube sock with just a few rocks in the
You were
end.
thinking tube?
I was thinking tube.
I was thinking soccer sock.
Yeah.
That's a tube sock.
I don't understand.
Well, I don't know.
The thing about it is no one leaves the house with a sock full of rocks without planning on doing violence.
Oh, well, it could have been for defense, though.
No, I don't think so. That's not a defensive weapon.
Okay, yeah.
A defensive weapon's more like a bow staff, butterfly knife.
Right, but what if you took your sock off and filled it with rocks? Then it becomes a defensive weapon.
Then she had like 11 minutes to run.
No. The other sock is defensive. The sock with rocks is offensive.
I could literally I could take my sock off and put rocks in it within 7 seconds.
We would be offended if you took your socks off without putting rocks in it.
I know, but I'm saying you said 11 minutes. 7 seconds, I'm in defensive mode.
I'm just clarifying. We want those lamb chops covered at all times.
So Cam's confirmed that sock rocks is a defensive weapon.
Yes.
I'm still on the side that it's offensive, that nobody should carry it as a defensive weapon.
A tube sock filled with rocks, I feel like is offensive.
Yeah. It's offensive, and he should go to jail.
He's in jail, for sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
How's she doing?
She's I don't know.
Oh, no.
The article didn't mention.
Well, she's probably upset.
Not good.
I mean, we should reach out. We'll reach out. After
we'll reach out, everybody.
Check.
Just contact us if you want to know how she's doing.
Right. Next headline, we have a Florida mom wearing flip-flops and an apron.
Okay.
Been there, baby.
And
Kiss the chef.
There's a video of her going out to her garage, and she has an issue that probably would have been best taken care of by a professional. And the professional is there, which is weird because a professional is on site, but this Florida mom decides to take matters into
apron and what?
Flip-flops.
Okay.
She decides to take matters in her own hands. And like, this is the day before Thanksgiving. She pulls a giant Florida python, like a python, Burmese python.
Is that what they're cooking?
Out of her car. No, it's wrapped around the underside of her car, and like I think its head is in the rim of the wheel, and she starts tugging. I don't think she has any like snake
awareness.
Like snake training.
Oh, okay. You can tell by
anything like that.
I
think, she was tugging on it like a tug of war.
Well, that's no good.
And the professional just comes around, reaches his hand in there, moves the head a little bit, and this woman pulls like probably a 15-foot python out of her car in her garage, and then probably goes back inside and cooks Thanksgiving.
How'd she know she couldn't get at a park? It was like a park and break.
Yeah. It's
Python
like
park and break.
Felt like a park and break. Yeah,
on late night TV.
Put it in reverse, and it kind of scooched a little bit, but it didn't go very far.
That's one of the fears, though, you have to have in Florida. Right? I mean, when your car doesn't start.
Fear.
Well, you should.
You should.
And I'm about to tell you why.
Yeah, here you go.
Because
this is scary.
In this article, this whole thing with Florida pythons, they're an invasive species. We brought them up multiple times.
Right. Get them.
But a lot of times we talk about them being in the Everglades. Yep. And so they're, ruining the Everglades. They have these contests to get them out of the Everglades and, hunt them and all this kind of stuff and capture them. Mm-hmm. Well, they've kind of been like contained to that area, South Florida, Everglades. Well, now they are spreading, and they have been found North Florida.
Don't like this.
Free roaming.
No way.
Burmese pythons. So this is like a new thing where they are actually being found in the wild.
It's spreading across the state.
The snakes, the 17-foot long snakes are spreading.
Thanks, Dr. Fauci.
I don't know if that's the reason. I think it's people picking up hitchhiking snakes.
Oh.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I thought
bindle and their thumb out, and they're like.
Well, I thought Cameron was going to quote a stat that I had read earlier today.
Right, go ahead.
7 out of 10 times in Florida when your car won't start is because there's a snake under your hood.
That's crazy. Normally the issue.
Okay.
That's crazy to me.
Okay, well, that's odd because I've taken mine to Advance probably 50 times over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Never been a snake.
Really?
I needed a new battery every time.
Sounds like you need a new car.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
If you're going 50 times in 2 months?
Just had a bad batch of batteries.
Okay.
Bad string of them.
Anyways.
The battery business, bro.
Yeah. All right. Our next headline, we have a Florida woman who is, I don't know what she's doing, but she is going to Canada.
What's she wearing? Because the last girl you had a
let's see. Yeah, she had an apron and flip-flops. This woman I think is wearing khakis and Reeboks.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Cappy chinos or cappy like
Cappy chinos? I think I said khakis.
I don't know what you said.
So anyways, she was trying to get into Canada, right?
Right.
Okay. So she's going through the border.
Which you can't.
passport?
No, she can. Well, she couldn't because they decided to pull her over for an inspection, and the Canada border agencies there found 56 undeclared prohibited firearms with 13 overcapacity magazines, 43 10-round pistol magazines, and 100 rounds of ammunition.
This is one human being.
This is one Florida woman.
How many hands or arms does this woman have?
56, I think.
56.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so
I guess, yeah.
Here's the thing. So she had them all in a box in boxes in the trunk of her car. I don't know what her plan here was. Like, did she not think that they would look in her car? Maybe she's done this multiple times. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyways, is
there a big market in Canada for guns?
There are no guns currently in Canada.
There has to be. That's the reason, though, because they can't have them. Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, we drive them up from Florida. Yeah. It's a fee. I mean, if you guys want to contact us, let us know.
Well, no, they had said, I read the article as well. I don't want to say anything, but they had said, ma'am, if you pull your car into Canada, that's 59 more guns than we planned on having ever.
Exactly. Yep. It's 56.
So she's going to jail for how long?
Well, here's the thing. So they did, arrest her for possession and purpose of weapons trafficking.
Okay.
So I think it's 9 charges for that. So I think she's gonna be.
What?
I think she's got some trouble.
They group the guns together?
Yeah, I think that you can't, like, one charge is like eight weapons.
8 weapons.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
She only had 100 rounds of ammunition, though. That's 2 bullets a gun.
I think you want to be seen with the gun. And
so
you really
honestly,
care.
I don't think I see the issue here, because if she finds 56 Canadians that need a defensive weapon for safety issues against bears, right?
Absolutely.
Canada is known for their bears, and so how many bullets do you need for a bear?
16 bears.
2.
Yeah.
So if you have 56 guns and 100 rounds of ammunition,
hold on, I'm writing this down.
Everybody,
okay.
Okay. There's 59 bears.
The train is traveling
56?
south.
56
guns.
Canadians.
56 guns.
Yeah.
Each Canadian has 2 bears.
No.
They're trying to cross the border into America.
Oh, anyways, our next headline we have. Let's simplify this a little bit.
What's she wearing?
She is now wearing whatever you wear in jail. But before that, I don't know. But she pulled up to a Popeyes drive-thru. This is going to be short and sweet.
Very familiar.
This is going to be short and sweet.
Short and sweet. You talking about the Megan Thee Stallion hottie sandwich.
Yes. So what? So anyways, this 26-year-old woman pulls up into the Popeyes drive-thru and starts arguing with the drive-thru employee.
Okay.
Popeyes,
I've been there, baby. Yeah.
What was your argument about?
Hey, can I get the wings? Well, the wings going to take 15 minutes. I'm like, you're the chicken store.
Right.
You got to have the chicken ready.
Chicken needs to be
was it a surprise
accessible.
that I came today?
Yeah, it was an absolute surprise.
Was it a surprise that somebody ordered chicken?
Yeah,
at
I was
the chicken store?
Customer number 1 at noon.
Right. So, of course you were. So anyways, that's probably what happened here. She pulls up for some chicken. The chicken wasn't ready, I guess. But anyway, she argues with this employee, ends up pulling out a firearm, waving it in the air, and says,
well, that's not where I went.
Blank, don't fix my food. Which is a weird quote, because it's like, what was wrong with the food? But I think the issue here was she wanted another employee, like, I'm done with you. I waved my firearm at you.
Yep, right.
You're done. You're out of my life. Let me talk to the next employee.
I think that's how you do it.
And probably threaten them.
Yeah.
As well. So anyways, she was arrested and charged with aggravated assault
What's the crime?
with a deadly weapon.
Aggravated assault?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever word you just said.
Well, I just made it quicker because I didn't want to take up his segment.
Just kind of lumped it together a little bit.
Aggravated assault.
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah. Okay. So she's in jail for a little bit.
Good.
You can't go to Popeyes, get mad about really anything, and start waving a weapon around.
If the attendant is not making my chicken correctly, how do you say I want the next attendant?
Right. Well, you can politely ask, but you can't pull a firearm out.
Well, these are new rules to me.
Well, write it down so that we don't have 2 co-hosts on this show next week because of a Popeyes.
There's lots of people listening, and I think what they're learning is you just stop bringing guns around places.
Yeah.
You think that's the common denominator here?
Snakes and guns. That's all I've heard so far.
Pythons and guns.
Can you imagine if snakes would have guns? Oh, God.
That would be scary.
Don't start with that.
All right. Our next headline, we have a Florida man who was, man, he was just trying to hitch a ride. Okay. He was found in the back of one of those big bucket trucks that are like an electric company that has the bucket that that's on the big arm that goes up and reaches the power.
I always
line.
wanted to go in one of those.
I don't think he was in the bucket, but he was found in the back of this truck, basically like a stowaway. And so the employees see him, they get out. They said, "Listen, dude, you got to leave." He doesn't.
No riding back there.
Right.
You got to ride up front.
Exactly. He doesn't move at all. And so they call the cops. The cops show up. He's kind of groggy because he was sleeping back there.
Okay.
He's really groggy at first, or like at least he was acting groggy because all of a sudden he abruptly runs away. Gets in the front of the truck, like Josh was saying.
Yes.
And steals the bucket truck in front of the police and the employees for this electric company.
That's my guy.
Oofa.
And here's the thing. He gets away.
I'm sorry.
Like he's able to get away and they didn't find the truck.
How far did the cop park away?
This is what I don't understand about the article. Yeah. He's able to get away from the cops in a bucket truck, like a lineman's bucket truck that can't go very fast. He gets away. They don't find the bucket truck for a few hours later. Mm-hmm. They don't find him till the next day.
This is probably at a bucket truck factory
where there's like you just have
there's so many.
There's so many.
They lost them in the stacks.
I can't even fathom how
a bucket truck
a cop cannot follow a bucket truck and
Not
he gets
too
away.
long ago, a guy stole a train. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but the cops weren't sitting there talking to the guy, and then all of a sudden it's like,
the guy acting groggy.
Oh snap, the train's gone.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's such a middle school move.
But in a way, though, gives you a little bit.
I'm steal a truck.
It's encouraging to folks who've been looking to steal some stuff and get away from the cops.
Mm-hmm.
If
like
this guy can do it in a bucket truck,
mm-hmm.
and the fella before him could steal a train, I mean, you could steal a normal sized car.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying there's hope out there.
No, just because one cop has a bad day.
Right.
And like was looking the other direction when a guy woke up and stole a car.
He juked him.
With a bucket truck.
He juked him with a bucket truck.
Yeah.
And so once they did find him the next day, they were like, dude, what was that?
Sleeping
what was up with that?
Was he sleeping in the
truck? You tell me, man.
He's like, what was up with that? He's like, I honestly just didn't want to walk home.
Yeah. He's I believe in myself. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
They give him a pass though for getting away.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that, if you're that impressed, and that's impressive.
It's a logic pass, right?
He at least should be teaching the lessons on how to drive. If he can juke them in a bucket truck.
Yeah. Our next headline. Did you guys see the video of this bald eagle that swoops down and steals a shark from a fisherman?
No, what is this?
Let me describe it.
Is this like a
to
commercial
for
America Tourism?
Yeah, I don't watch videos.
This is
mythical creatures.
Anyways, a bald eagle. There's this video of this guy fishing. He's pulling in a shark. Okay, now it's not a huge shark, but it's still a shark.
It's a shark.
A Florida shark.
It's a shark. Yeah, it's a Florida shark. And so this bald eagle swoops down, steals the shark from him, and just sits there on the beach. Basically, with everybody looking at him, and just starts eating this shark,
like mocking the guy,
right?
Yeah, and just saying, this is what freedom's about. This is, this is
right.
Say the pledge to this moment right now.
Say the pledge to this moment.
And so, anyways, this video came out. It was going all over the place. Well, this woman came out and was like, "That's Eugene."
What?
Come again?
I'm sorry. The shark? She named the shark
the bald eagle. She's like, "That's Eugene."
Bless.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
I don't know what
who's Eugene? So this bald eagle is kind of like his story. I'm about to do a bald eagle story.
Come on.
Like a backstory.
I hope that's not Wayne's story.
I'm about to give you a backstory for a bald eagle.
Okay, so Eugene the eagle.
Eugene the eagle, who was eating a shark the last time we saw him.
Okay.
He has this whole backstory where this woman that randomly saw this family and this nest of eagles, bald eagles that were on a power line.
Okay.
Well, this eagle fell out of the nest, out of the power line, which was Eugene, our shark eating bald eagle.
Bless, he's come so far.
Falls down out of the power line, shatters his leg. What? Takes him to like an animal what do you call it?
Hospital.
Rehabilitation center.
Right.
And so
animal doctor.
They really didn't think that he would be okay. They didn't think he'd make it out.
Shattered foot is
right.
the problem.
And they did like surgery after surgery.
What did they give him, a gun for a foot?
No, it was like metal pins.
Oh my god!
And so then he's got like 9 months of recovery.
Oh my!
And
goodness.
so they put him in these big like fly barn type things is what they call them, where they have these ponds of fish and they like naturally hunt and like
I'd love to be in a fly
well, anyways,
barn.
they release this Eugene after they feel like he's rehabilitated.
Yeah.
He doesn't do well.
No,
no, he's like found in some little pond and
no.
he has to be rehabilitated again.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not doing
Wow,
well. That
okay.
little foot
I get
is,
it.
it's a struggle. And so he has to be
struggle.
rehabilitated again.
Mhm.
They release him. They feel like he's good. And now the dude is stealing sharks.
he's really
He's a
come
predator.
Really, now they have to rehabilitate him and like not the way, dude.
Right. You can like you can steal fish from people.
That's the thing. In the
Don't steal a shark.
The second season of Rehabilitation, I read this.
Okay.
He basically
He's read all my articles.
they played on repeat.
Okay.
Proud to be an American.
Right.
I'm not
Just on repeat
okay.
over and over
Right.
again. And they said they could physically
And
see
Jaws?
those feet muscles strengthen.
Wow.
And so now flying around stealing sharks.
Well, that's the
Okay.
thing is they were saying
I feel
because
like that whole thing he said was made up.
No,
Yeah,
what?
I'm
no,
just
no,
gonna
no.
say,
That's the
That
year-
was on Bay News 9.
It's year 4.
No, that's the fourth
first-
verse of God Bless America.
Oh, is it?
is the part about if you see a shark, you take a shark, and that's the act of freedom.
Right.
Okay. I feel
And
like that also was made up.
I feel
I
like
don't know the
no.
Star Spangled Banner.
An eagle stealing a shark
That's a different song.
with a claw foot is like some kind of like George Washington prophecy.
I
Like
will-
that-
I will leave-
they witnessed.
he had wooden teeth.
I will leave the studio right now and
Yeah.
get a tattoo of an eagle talon
Yes.
clasping a shark on my arm.
Okay.
If you're listening right now to the show and you're not like saluting a flag somewhere, that's
Yeah.
like the most American thing I've ever heard.
Just
And I'm a communist.
that's true. That's true. Hey, fellas.
Joshua.
It's day
Welcome.
1, new studio,
That's right.
episode 157.
That's right.
If people are familiar with my segment, I usually rely on the guys. I usually surprise the guys
That's
with
right.
questions from the audience.
Right.
Like, what did you do at summer camp?
It's my favorite part of the show.
Well,
too.
you'd be the only ones because if you look at our reviews and you control F, search Josh,
Okay.
nothing comes up.
No, that's
Well,
not true.
that's not
Who's
true.
the most handsome on the show?
That
Josh.
wasn't in there.
Who's got the most sultry voice?
Nobody
Josh.
said that.
Who's creamsicle pie?
Cream
That's
boy Josh.
nothing. That's nothing.
No, okay. I will say this. Maybe you're not mentioned specifically on the reviews, but in the DMs on social media, they're all addressed to you.
There we go.
They're all salty and sultry, and they all come in after midnight. Now you explain that.
I can't.
Okay, then.
Facts are facts, I guess.
So what's the segment?
Yeah, what are you complaining about, Cream
I'm
Boy?
trying to take over a little bit of your guys' real estate here.
Okay, come
I'm
on.
sitting between two titans
That's right.
Yes.
of
That's right.
of storytelling.
Boom,
That's right.
One gets Florida news, current events.
That's right.
One gets Florida history.
Okay,
Josh gets, hey, what'd you do at summer camp?
I see what you're saying.
So what I
Yeah, but I
propose-
like that.
We're the
Well-
veggies. You're the sweet treat.
Yeah, in the Oreo, I'm the creamy middle.
That's what we've been
Nobody
saying.
likes the creamy
Creamsicle
middle.
pie, baby.
I don't think that's relevant, but we'll continue.
Okay.
So I asked you guys at the beginning of the week, bring me your best story that you can guarantee we haven't heard.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
I'm here.
And you also said it can't be Florida related.
Now
No,
I just gave
can't
you
be.
8.
Well, yeah, those are Florida related. I said out of Florida, any time range from 2000 BC
Right.
to 0
Right.
to 2021 AD.
I will say this.
AD.
Josh put this in the group chat. He said, guys, bring me some stories that we haven't heard.
You can guarantee that my ears haven't heard.
Right.
It's
and-
weird that you said like how the history of it. Like, you can go so far back because
Easily.
one of the stories I thought about doing
Mhm.
was from 1303 BC.
No way.
I was already in that timeline, baby.
This pharaoh was born. I'm gonna give you a quick one. This pharaoh Ramses was born in
Really?
1303
Okay, go on.
BC. And anyways,
What'd he do?
Egypt had to
What's happening?
Listen,
This is the worst.
in the 70s,
Yeah.
Egypt had to make him an official passport because they dug up his mummy and shipped it somewhere in the world, and they had to actually make a passport for this guy that was born in 1303 BC.
That's
Cadavers
so
need
cool.
a passport?
I guess so.
I guess so.
Well,
Did they
he's a
take a
mummy.
photo?
That's different. That's not cadaver.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were being facetious. That's a real story.
That's a real story.
That's very
Okay,
real.
Well,
Yeah.
I haven't heard
That's a
that.
freebie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's a freebie. So I don't want to start this
Okay.
because it's my segment. I didn't know if one of you guys felt a little warmed
I'll
up.
hit you with a twofer. Here we go.
I knew he was
Okay.
ready.
All right, this
A
woman
baby gets put into a basket, sent down the Nile River.
needed a passport for
Garden
Yeah.
of Eden.
Okay.
So, anyways, 62-year-old Russian woman.
Okay.
Got it.
Can't say the name.
Sounds super cute.
But
Try
anyways,
to though for my segment. Try to.
Ezita.
I love it.
Perfect.
Gabiva.
That's fine.
Okay,
We
that
were
was
good
a-
with the first
That
name.
was a different name. Hopefully, it's not the
So,
same.
anyways,
Isa took a beaver.
for 23 years. For 23
Go on.
years, she has severe, sharp abdominal pains.
Such is life.
like
Tummy ache.
severe,
Yeah.
sharp.
Lactose.
So, anyways, trips to doctors. They couldn't figure it out. They blamed
Okay.
everything on liver problems. They
Well.
gave her painkiller after painkiller, which is probably where the liver problem came in.
I think that helps. Yeah.
Right. So every day, Gabiva drank pills to
Drank 'em.
escape the pill. That's what the article says.
I
Drank
believe
'em.
you.
I've
I'm
never,
not
It's a Russian
questioning-
article.
I've
Yeah.
never drank them, but that's pain, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're drinking pills.
Yeah.
God
So
bless.
finally, after 23 years,
Yeah.
they decide to do an X-ray.
I'm sorry. I'm no doctor.
I
Right.
But
understand.
I think after 8 months,
If you're having abdominal
Yeah.
pain
Right.
and you're going to go
any
get an
scans
X-ray.
possible, take them.
I don't know what the medical, I don't know how the medical field works in Russia. Maybe you have to say, "Hey, I would like to have an X-ray, please,
Okay.
doctor."
Well, I
like
think
they don't bring it up.
in Russia, like America. If it's a woman, you go, it's hysteria.
Oh, geez,
Right. That's the first
You're
rule.
talking in
Is
the
that right?
You're
Am I
talking
right?
1303 BC, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, so she goes to get an X-ray,
Mhm.
and the radiologist is stunned because
Okay.
at first she thought the woman had forgotten scissors in her pocket.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What now?
But then they realized she had a clamp, like the
Okay.
pliers that you
Uh-huh.
would like plier clamps that
Yeah.
you would use in surgery
Uh-huh.
that were left in her body for 23 years from when
How-
she had a C-section and had her kid.
Yeah.
And so basically there was pliers, like medical grade
Oh.
clamps that were in her body for
And
23
supposedly
years
painful.
and tortured for that entire time.
Well, that's inconvenient.
Yeah. Well, hey, here's
Is
the
that
thing.
I don't know what kind of story you wanted. Does that work?
I think that works.
No, I mean the rules were
wasn't the
simple. One we
X-ray
haven't
done?
heard, not
Yeah.
from Florida.
The
Here-
weird part was, sorry, Wayne. The weird part was whenever this article was written in 2019, it said the clamp is still inside Gabiva, but it is being prepared for surgery to remove it.
No, immediately.
Things
I'm
move slow
sorry.
in Russia. If you see that, like I want it out that
So
day.
the story happened between when she found out
Right.
a story was able to be published
Yes.
and before she was able to get them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What in
Wow.
the world? I think here's my thing. She probably went to the doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
My belly hurts, she said.
Oh, yeah.
Isa
Big time.
Gabiva is there. And the doctor says to her,
Yeah, that's her.
it's negative 70 degrees outside. I've had nothing but potatoes and vodka for the last 30 years of my
That's a
life.
stereotype.
That's
Dave.
potato
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah.
And
That's one thing.
my belly hurts too. Just go home.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean?
Okay.
Turns out she's got scissors in her belly.
Nope. Clamps.
Yep. Pliers.
And then the doctor said, okay, well, we'll take it out. Give us a couple months.
what in the
We'll put
world?
you on the schedule.
Yeah, let me get some new scissors to get the old
Yeah.
scissors out.
I've got
Oh my
15
God.
patients with clamps in their bodies.
Dude,
Yeah.
the X-ray is insane because it's literally just clamp They're 16 centimeters long. Josh can do the math in inches real quick.
Yeah, that's like
God
4 or 5 inches.
almighty.
I think it's 7,
4.5
probably.
inches.
Look at that.
Dude, it's nuts.
You sure there weren't in her pocket?
Next to her pelvis.
Oh my.
That's the painful
God.
spot.
That is a painful spot. She couldn't sleep for 23 years.
Dadgummit, man.
I don't understand why it took 23 years to get an x-ray.
She could have built her own x-ray machine in 23 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, my goodness. All right. Well, yeah, I'll go next. Mine's a little happier.
Thank God.
Mine is 2.
These two fellas.
You want me to do another Pharaoh story?
No, I don't want.
Oh, okay, go
mine
ahead.
comes from the book of Leviticus.
Okay, please.
And these two fellas up in Canada. They are scientists and they specialize in robotics.
Okay.
And they wanted to do a social experiment just to kind of see how people would treat a robot that they saw in the wild.
Like in nature?
It's not like the one that you kicked, the dog robot.
No,
that's
no.
Boston Dynamics.
Oh, I love them.
No, this one they wanted
to
to
kick
see
a dog
basically. They
robot.
wanted to see a robot in human setting to see how humans would respond to it.
Okay.
And so they built this robot that they called Hitchbot. And Hitchbot did not look like a human; it looked like a robot.
Okay.
And they put like an iPad in it and all these sensors, and basically they were able to see what the robot saw, and they would see how people behaved around this robot. And all the robot could really do is put its thumb out and hitch a ride. And they wanted to see how far this robot. Who would pick it up and just see the basic human kindness.
It's a social experiment.
It was.
Like the Burmese pythons.
Right.
In your earlier
100%. So the Hitchbot gets released in Canada.
I get the name now.
And travels literally across the entire country.
No way.
Hitchhiking. And there's all this video, these people picking it up, whatever.
So they just pick them up, put them in their car, drive.
Do you buckle them in?
I think that some people did,
Is
and
that
they
a
would take them as
requirement?
far as they were going, and then put them back out in the street. And it would be less than a day. A new person would pick it up, carry it the rest of the way.
Now, does this thing look like a robot or does it look like garbage?
No, it looks like a robot
Oh,
in the way that like Wall-E looks like a robot. So it's not humanoid. It looks like, you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
But it makes it across Canada. It goes so well. They do the same exact experiment with the same exact robot in Norway and Germany. They have the exact same results. One side of the country to the other side.
Okay, so 3 countries.
No
so far.
problems. They decide to do it in America.
Oh, here we go.
And
Where'd they start?
Oh no!
They
I
put
just
it-
have a bad feeling.
They
about
started
this.
off in Pennsylvania,
Oh, he's done for.
in a beautiful
the
town
Amish?
called Philadelphia.
Oh
okay.
my! He didn't go anywhere.
The robot was immediately beaten to death and stripped,
What do you mean?
and the iPad
Beaten to
inside
death.
of it was stolen.
Oh my gosh!
Okay. What do you
And-
mean beaten to death?
In the article,
couldn't go to death,
they
I mean.
actually said the creators actually said the sad part about all of this is we have no way to see what was going on because everything that was of value was taken from the robot.
Oh my!
They found it in a
gosh.
ditch on the side of the road.
Wow.
So this thing hitchhiked
Did
across
he look
three.
friendly?
I mean, in
He
3 other
looked
countries it did.
expensive. That was a
Yeah,
problem.
that's the thing.
Expensive.
In
That was
3
the
other
problem.
countries, it gets picked up without supervision and does its purpose. It hitchhikes across the entire landmass. In America, it gets immediately beaten up and left in a ditch.
It does not have a gun, I assume?
I don't think
Because
so.
that's the rule. Like, if you're going to hitchhike, have a gun.
I
If
guess
you-
so.
If you don't, you're
He
a
had an
foreigner.
iPad. That's about it.
Yeah. that's
I
it.
love that story,
Wow.
though. I love
That's
that.
crazy.
Like, it's,
I mean, that really wraps
instantaneous.
up. Yeah,
It spells a lot for you. It's basically, and I wish we could see the footage because I want to see the car that pulls up and is like, "Hey, let's kill this. Let's kill this
Yeah.
robot." You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
no
Like,
good. That's not a
Robert-
happy story.
that's a
Robot's
happy
done for.
story.
No, you said happy story.
Have you seen iRobot?
Yeah, that's a bad robot chases Will Smith.
No, that's Will Smith defending human nature against robots.
Can't
You're thinking
argue
of
with
I
that.
Am Legend.
I'm saying Will
Yep,
Smith
with
was
the
in,
dog.
Yeah.
dude. Holy crap! West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Oh my gosh!
You're saying Will
beating
Smith
robots is where I
beat the
spend most of my
robot up?
days.
Oh my god!
Are we comfortable saying we've avoided conflict on this show?
Have
Are we comfortable saying tonight
Will Smith
Will Smith destroyed Hitchbot?
and stole the iPad.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh!
He has been very active on Twitter.
My goodness. Well,
Okay,
Josh,
well,
let's see what you
The
got.
two reporters did our job, so
God,
I
I don't even.
Cameron-
I don't even know where
Cameron
to start.
covered Pharaoh.
think we
Okay.
wrapped this
Icha
segment up.
Bagicha with the scissors in her belly. What do you got for us?
Oh well. How do I even start this, guys? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No.
No.
What is it?
After 23 years
Oh, the scissors?
in his position, no, that's odd. Michael Jordan.
23 years.
Yeah.
After 23 years in his position, paid by the New Zealand town council of Christchurch.
Okay.
A man is losing his job.
Okay.
Sad times all around.
Or?
Well, apparently Christchurch no longer needs a wizard. So
where is this at?
Christchurch, New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay. Well,
Ian Brackenberry Channel, age 88, has been contracted.
Is that a fruit?
Could be. Has been contracted with Christchurch City Council for the past 2 decades.
They have a wizard on the council?
Well, yeah. I mean, his responsibilities are to act of wizardly and other wizard services.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of in his.
That's kind of cool.
It's very vague.
He was bringing in about $16,000 a year.
Holy cow!
Not bad.
It's a good wizard gig.
They decided this year we don't need any more wizard things done to the town.
Okay.
So they cut him free with a nice little note that said your services are no longer needed.
And they put a cinder block around his leg and threw him in the river.
Well,
what?
I didn't see that part in here. It's very
Wayne's
possible.
been looking at Philadelphia a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the gentleman. If you see him,
Oh, look at him!
Yeah.
He looks so nice.
88
What
years
a nice
old.
wizard.
Yeah. He's going to continue to do it for free,
Okay.
which is good for the city because he's worried about becoming a boring old man.
No, listen, my guy. What's his
Aren't we
name
all?
again?
No idea. Ian
McShane?
Channel.
Here's my thing. I just feel like shame on that city of Christchurch
You think so?
for cutting that nice wizard loose.
Well, they say that doesn't fit the vibes of the city anymore.
it's
The city or the church?
Well, that's the city
the
is
whole
Christchurch.
town, is a church. My thing is $16K is a low fee for a
You think
wizard,
so?
dude.
I
Like
think it's a very
100.
What would you pay
100%.
your wizard?
Easily
Depends on the job.
$17.50.
Yeah, no, he's doing wizardly duties like tourism.
That's
Okay,
sad.
well,
you said
and-
my story was sad. This is really
No,
sad.
he's handing out free banana splits. I don't even know how that's possible.
Dude, that's kind of a vibe. Just a
Yeah.
friendly neighborhood wizard
Yeah.
passing out treats to the
I don't-
kids.
He couldn't
Yeah.
find anything better than a banana split, though.
I give children happy dreams, general good health, and I want to make bureaucrats become more human. That's what he said. That's his closing statement.
Yes, we can.
Wow.
I'll vote for this guy, dude.
Me too, baby.
What?
88 years old.
I'll be honest. I don't like the wizard.
You don't like the wizard?
Oh,
I don't
you
know.
Was it the hat?
I mean,
You
no, it's
Protestant.
the banana splits that's throwing me off.
Okay, well, that part might have been. I felt like my story was lacking something.
So you made that part up?
You can't make stuff up in this segment.
I don't know how it works.
Oh my gosh.
That's not how news
I
works.
wrote it down in the description of the wizard.
Well, thank you guys.
This guy brought text that was 2,000 years old, and you made up a story about bananas and
I
wizards.
thought it was really the cherry on top of this Sunday.
Oh, whatever. Serena Williams was born
What?
September 26th,
In Florida?
1981,
Are you
in
serious?
Saginaw, Michigan.
Okay.
Okay. Michigan.
It's not every day we start a story off with
With a
such a
name.
recognizable name.
Mm-mm.
That's a big name.
Heard the name.
Well, you guys like the tease a little bit. You guys like it whenever I drag it out, and then I
you
throw
like
People
the-
we should know, you try to like throw us off by their middle
not
name
this
or
time.
something.
No.
No,
Not this
50
time.
minutes in, then we're finding
You
out.
can't hide Serena.
I'm
from
swinging.
us.
I'm
swear.
coming out swinging.
Okay,
Season
that's a pun.
4,
Swinging.
Serena freaking Williams.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this. Serena's parents were called Oracene Price and Richard Williams.
Okay.
She's one of her mother's 5 daughters, and she
Wow.
has 7 paternal half siblings.
Wow.
Big family.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So her most famous sibling is her older sister, Venus Williams,
Right.
who's also a wonderful athlete. But out of everyone in her family, her father, Richard Williams, probably played the biggest role in her success.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's known as King Richard Williams, which
That
is
right there
Where's
tells
that
you
title
everything you need
come
to
from,
know.
though?
the queen.
Oh, wow.
Yep, she knighted him, Queen of England.
He's not
Uh,
a pharaoh though.
No,
Can
no,
never be.
he's not a pharaoh. King Richard Williams, which is such an amazing name. This guy's an amazing character too. He was a sharecropper from Louisiana.
Wow.
He had a very difficult life growing up. So when Serena and Venus were born, he was like hell-bent on making sure that they had a clear path to success.
Right.
Okay.
He wanted to make sure that they didn't have the same struggles that like he had.
Set him up for success.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
And so for
Mhm.
whatever reason or another, Richard decides that their path to success is tennis. He decides this for them.
I don't know how that's even an option.
That is a
You're
leap.
A sharecropper.
Yeah.
How do you pick tennis out of everything?
And he's like, look, guys, tennis is your way out. This is how we're going to.
And you're going to be good at it.
Right.
That's obscure.
Here's the thing. Tennis is a pretty expensive sport.
Okay.
It's not something that you can.
Rackets, you need a ball and a racket. I don't understand.
Well, you can't casually get into it, you can casually play, but if you want to be like pro and competitive,
you need court time.
Yeah, it's expensive to get in. So that's the thing. To be properly trained, to have entrance into tournaments, you need to either have a lot of money to start off with, or you need sponsorships.
Right.
Well, that's a tough pickle.
And that's the thing, is because they had neither.
Yeah.
So at the time, Serena's father, Richard's like, okay, but we're going to do this anyways. I've got a plan. When Serena was still a very small child, he moved their entire family to the world-renowned tennis capital of Compton, California.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a tennis follower.
No, not a fact that I knew about California.
No, I didn't know Compton was known for their...
They're not. So Compton's literally the last place anyone would go to if you want to train in tennis.
Right.
Okay.
It literally makes no sense.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The location was chosen on purpose. Richard wanted Serena to experience all the hardships that he had to endure in life.
Okay, well.
Because he said they were character building.
So this is a whole life lesson.
Don't like that.
He moved his family to Compton.
Yeah, the hardest one.
Because he wanted them to grow up in an environment where he felt like they would learn some life lessons.
Couple miles from a tennis court? Like where it's like, you just got to jog out of Compton.
Let's talk about the Compton tennis courts.
Okay.
Here's the thing. No, this is, let me share this quote real fast from Serena. It's about her father. She said, he wanted us to realize that if we didn't work hard and get an education, that this would be what our life was like.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I don't like being used as an example.
It's kind of aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
You're being punished before being punished. Like, it's like hey, this is the punishment you could receive if you don't do well.
Okay, wow, that's true. That's the motivation. Weird. Here's the thing. That wasn't the only thing that was kind of crazy about Serena's childhood. When they got to Compton, her father would train her for 2 hours a day. Every day of the week, without exception. She was 5 years old.
Okay,
okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Now, is King Richard like a tennis all-star with his sharecropping?
It's funny you should ask that. He was not a tennis all-star.
So how do you train?
He admittedly knew nothing.
There's magazines and books to read, though.
Does that help?
Okay, let me take you one step further.
Okay.
He ended up checking out a bunch of books from the library about tennis, and he also purchased some VHS instructional tapes.
Well,
I could see how that would benefit, like, to an extent.
Right. You need the visual to go along with the book.
It's not 3D, and nobody's correcting your incorrect.
Well, let's retrace the steps a little bit. This is how Serena's road to success in the world of tennis began. In Compton, being trained by a guy who barely knew how to play the game, much less train another, like a professional.
Right.
He's using VHS tapes that he bought and books checked out from the library to train his daughter in tennis.
If it's me, I go, Dad, there may be a better thing.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Serena said that the tennis courts that they would train on were riddled with potholes full of water.
Yep.
And half
not
the time,
conducive to a good tennis game.
Wimbledon is not known for its potholes.
No, and she said half the time they didn't even have a net.
Okay, well, I think that's a requirement, though.
I think it's like the only requirement.
Every tennis game I've seen's had a net.
Okay, well,
and I've only seen 3. So 100%.
100% have nets.
All the while they're training on these pothole-riddled courts.
It sounds like a parking lot.
There was pervasive gang violence happening all around them while they were practicing. I just want to I want to pause and picture this for a moment.
Yes.
It's a tennis court with potholes that doesn't have a net, and there's drive-by shootings happening in the background.
It's a street.
I guess you don't go for the girls playing tennis if you're doing a drive-by.
That is true. So. It's absolutely insane. But here's the thing: as much as we're like, kind of poking fun at it, Richard Williams really was trying his best to help Serena succeed. He personally homeschooled the girls.
Okay.
And he played an equally huge part in their education during this time period as well. So while they were in Compton, something very strange happened.
Okay.
Serena happened to meet a professional tennis coach who just so happened to be really interested in her story.
Okay.
And he agreed to train her alongside of her father for free.
Well, you're out there 14 hours a week. You're going to run into somebody.
So. Right. That's just during the week. Weekends were probably 6-hour days.
This guy was an actual coach, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. His name, and this is for real, was Richard Williams.
What?
Well, that's
related?
Nope. This guy had the exact same name as her dad.
Okay.
Is that why he went by King?
I believe that's why there was a separation.
Well, when the second Richard came into the frame, he changed his name to King.
King
I
Richard.
get it. Yeah.
At this point in her life, she has two coaches, Richard Williams and Richard Williams.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's got to feel kind of claustrophobic.
Only one has ever played the game.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
And the other one's your dad.
But the other one's a king, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's royalty.
True.
This was Serena's life for like 4 years.
Ooh,
okay.
That doesn't sound good.
She trained every day, multiple times a day, until at some point.
She's the younger one, though, right?
Now, I was going to say, I mean, I know this is all about Serena, but I assume Venus is there too.
She was there.
Like every step of the way.
She was there, yeah. And so at some point in time, her father realized that this life lesson had kind of run its course and that she was actually being handicapped by staying in Compton.
Right. So it sounds like they need to get straight out of Compton.
You learned how bad it could be. Right? Oh, I missed it.
There.
Yeah.
Such a white joke. This was the next big move.
Okay.
And probably the most important move of her career because Serena Williams and her family, they packed up their things and they moved to Florida.
Amen, baby.
Here we go.
Listen, this is the tennis dream, dreamland.
This is very
true. You can't
actually.
Walk a mile without tripping over a tennis court.
It's true.
And Josh has always said that Serena was 9 years old when they arrived in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay, yep.
Oh, that's a good spot to play tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, those tennis courts have nets.
Oh, yeah.
They've got no potholes. They're green as tennis
I do think
courts
that
are.
The court fees are going to be more expensive.
They're a little bit, everything's a little bit more expensive in West Palm Beach. This is when her career really began to take off because as she's there, she's getting noticed by a lot of other young professionals.
Okay,
She's starting to make a name for herself. She starts attending the tennis academy of Rick Macy. And this guy is a big deal.
Yeah.
He is not like Richard Williams from Compton.
Well, you didn't have to finish the last name because once you said Rick, Cameron and I locked eyes.
That's a
Rick.
shortage for Richard.
He knew who it was. Yeah. That's so true. What the crap? She's got 3 coaches called Richard. Richard Williams, King Richard Williams, Rick Macy.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess so. It's a stretch.
The 3 Richards. And this is all very different from the environment that she trained in initially.
Yeah.
Okay. Like polar opposite, actually.
Yeah.
Rick Macy's a
Compton
big,
to West Palm Beach is pretty different.
They're very different. Rick Macy's a big name in the sport.
Okay.
He sees Serena and how talented she is. And immediately this guy's like, I'm going to make some money here.
What?
This is a
That's
young.
what he was worried
about. I thought he was making money.
He literally said this girl's a young Michael Jordan.
Wow.
There's a lot of money to be made here. So immediately, Serena is entered into the youth tennis tournaments. And these tournaments are taking place all over the country.
Right.
So she's living in West Palm. She's training in West Palm, but she is traveling all over the place. She's no longer just some random girl being trained by her dad. Okay. She's actually building a name for herself on the youth circuit.
Yeah.
All over the country. And so this is where like a very real schism starts to form though.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that Rick Macy thinks Serena should train looks very different from the way her father, Richard Williams, thinks.
Who's the king?
Let's just distinguish the guy who doesn't know anything about tennis.
Right.
And the guy who does know things about tennis.
Rick
but
Macy.
Again, who's the king?
Who's the king?
But this is the thing, though. Her father wanted to maintain some childlike innocence and a heavy focus on her school studies because she was only 9 years old.
Yeah.
And Rick Macy was like, dude, who needs school? You're going to be the best in the world.
Yeah, put her in the game.
They're very different. Yeah. And so that right there, this is an actual quote from Rick Macy where he says, I didn't always agree with Richard Williams, but I can acknowledge that he treated his daughters like children and allowed them to be little girls and focus on their school.
Oh, wow.
So Richard really wanted them to kind of have a pro career, but still be children and still have, little girl things. Whereas Rick was like, look, you're the best of the best. Let's get you going across the country.
Let's make you miserable.
Yeah, basically, he's admitting that he didn't want what was best for Serena. He wanted her to just focus on sports. And so the result of this was Serena pulling out of the National Youth Tennis League. And here's the thing. Like, Richard actually stopped sending her to tournaments, stopped sending her to the academy.
I thought that was the goal, though.
He felt like she was growing up too fast. Once they got into the life, he was like, this is too much, too fast. Okay. And so another reason why Richard pulled Serena out was because she would frequently receive racist comments while she was on the court. And older men would often make derogatory statements to her in between matches. So she was being targeted by just some nasty people. Yeah. And all in all, she's like 10 years old and she's just not feeling welcome at all.
Yeah, well, that's tough. Yeah. To be playing a one-on-one sport and to have
And you're better than the
nasty.
guys that have been playing
100%
for years.
So at this time, when Serena pulled out of the National Youth League, she had a 46-3 record. And she was
That's
ranked,
good, I think.
She was ranked number one.
The first one is the winning one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was ranked number one in the 10 and under in the entire country.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
And she pulls out and she's like, I'm done.
Really?
How does anybody yell anything at her?
I
She's
know.
number one.
But I think here's the thing, though. Imagine this, though. It's a sport that's dominated by rich white people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this kid comes in, and so there was a lot of jealousy and a lot of, right, exactly. So there's a huge deal when she pulled out.
I'm sorry. Take your little white kid to Compton for a couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. No, for real.
Toughen him up.
We're Team Serena here. Anyone who basically took this path to tennis stardom, is unique. That's never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you want to be a pro in tennis, you start training at a very young age in places like West Palm, in places like Laguna Beach.
Got it.
You get in the youth circuits and you stay there until you're in the pros. That's how you do it.
Right. Yep.
And that's just how it goes. Serena, in a way, she causes shockwaves because she's entered the scene and she goes, you know what? I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do whatever I want because I'm just that good. Right. And she steps out of it. Yeah. So that's, which is really cool. At the age of 14, Serena actually makes her professional debut.
Okay.
Because she's like, hey, I'm just going to jump in as a wild card.
Are these adults?
These are grown-ups.
She's 14.
She's
so it's
14.
Not like 15 and under.
She comes in as a wild card because you're able to surpass all the signups, all the whatever. She waits to the day of and files a wild card. Okay. Basically, like if someone calls in sick or gets hurt, they call upon her.
Oh, okay.
So that works. They call upon her at 14.
Okay.
National stage as a pro.
Yeah.
She flops.
Okay.
Oh,
well, it's the first.
Serena.
It's the first one.
She freaks out. Yeah. She performs horribly.
It's a big audience.
Right. As you can imagine.
Especially if people are yelling things at you.
Well, and that's the thing is the vibe on the street was like a lot of rich, snobby folks were happy that she did because it proves their point.
I don't like that at all.
They're like, that she
was only good until like 10 and under.
Well, no, that you didn't do it our way, and therefore you're not going to make it. Like you're not any good.
Mm-hmm.
And so she enters the pros at 14. She loses. So Serena actually didn't begin making a name for herself professionally until 1998. She entered into the Australian Open, and it was actually a novelty match called the Battle of the Sexes. And how Serena got this spot?
I've heard of this.
This is so crazy. Serena got this spot because she went on national television and said, I'll beat any man in tennis outside the top 200.
I do love that. Yeah.
So
inside the top 200?
Outside the top 200.
So
she's saying outside the top 200.
I think it's still pretty good.
Yeah. I'll beat any man
7 billion
on the planet. Yeah. Out of the top 200. And so they call it the Battle of the Sexes. And they hosted it at the Australian Open.
Like anybody from the top 200 would even play her.
No, that's the catch-22, right? It's brilliant marketing because here's the 16-year-old girl who's openly saying, I will defeat any male. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for her because on one hand, what guy's going to accept a challenge? Because if you lose, you just lost to a teenage girl.
Right.
If you win, you just beat a teenage girl. So like,
that's tricky.
There's no benefits for them. So the marketing plan worked. And she finally finds someone to accept her challenge.
Okay.
His name was Karsten Brosch. And he was ranked.
Never heard of him.
Yeah,
he was
ranked
snooty.
He was ranked 203rd. Dude, what a snooty
out
name.
of the window.
Karsten.
Yeah.
So Karsten shows up.
He didn't choose his name. Don't make fun of him.
He shows up. Freaking polo, sweater tied around his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's got a cane.
My name's Karsten.
Well, his name's Karsten.
A cane though?
Just a fancy gold cane.
Okay. It was a tennis
cane.
Tennis racket.
Here's the thing. So the match happens.
Yeah.
The entire tennis world is watching this 16-year-old girl.
Wow. Tell me what happened, Wayne. Yeah. Just tell me.
He absolutely destroys her.
No!
Karsten.
It's
Karsten, you polo-wearing son of a...
Bro, it's bad.
What? Really?
Yeah. He wiped her pretty bad, man.
Serena, you're off to a bad start.
It was nasty. To make matters worse, when the game was over, Karsten gives an interview where he looks at the camera and he goes, top 200, more like top 500.
I don't know what that means.
Know what that,
basically,
is he making fun of himself?
He's saying that she couldn't beat anybody like in the top 500.
Right.
Still, top 500's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, though. You would think that like this defeat would somehow hurt Serena Williams. In a way, it actually motivates her more. So now she's a household name. She's this girl that like just did this brilliant marketing campaign. And even though she lost, she's super encouraged by the response she's getting now. People are like getting behind her.
Good press.
100%.
You said that before.
He said it a lot.
I made that up.
100. Yeah. So Here's the thing. In 1999, after a successful professional season, Serena found herself qualified for the U.S. Open.
That's the big one, right?
This is the big one. This is where the big dogs come to play. So imagine this. A girl who had, against all odds, started in Compton with her dad as her coach. Worst courts possible. Moves to Florida, drops out of the youth league. She's now in the U.S. Open. This is like a dream come true for her.
And she's been demolished the last 2 big public appearances.
100%. She's walking onto the courts of the U.S. Open going, man, this is a dream. This is my future. This is my dream. Here's the thing. That morning, they start handing out the tournament assignments.
Right.
Oh, you don't know who you're facing.
You Karsten, probably. You don't know who you're
I
facing.
hope it's not Karsten.
Here's the thing. One of the opponents that she had to beat in order to progress was her older sister, Venus.
I don't like that. They've had to play each other so much.
And I know the stories about Serena, but she and Venus were super close. So in order for her to fulfill her dreams, she's got to crush the dreams of her sister.
Wow.
So in order for her to move forward,
that's deep.
She's got to. That's so crazy. Here's the thing,
bro.
She obliterates her.
Oh,
whoa!
No mercy.
Oh my!
She learns a lot from Karsten Brock.
This is why the story is not about Venus. Am I right?
I guess so.
This is it.
We're going to pull them both in.
She played for the chance to be on our show, and she won. Not only did Serena defeat her sister, but she goes on to win the 1999 U.S. Open.
At what age?
Baby?
Becoming the first African American woman to ever do so.
Wow! And I was 8 years old watching it. I remember.
You remember it?
Mm-hmm.
He was watching it, and so here's the thing: from this point on, it was nothing but superstardom. Serena won championship after championship. She even teamed up with her sister in 2008.
Doubles
to win the women's doubles Olympic.
No, I'm not kidding. Dude, my dad watched tennis all the time.
They did it in Beijing at the games, and they crushed it.
Wow. Dude, them as doubles is like freaking intense,
it was tag team.
Dude.
Really? It was like Legion of Doom.
It's intense.
I don't understand the reference.
Yeah, it's a special tennis match.
Okay.
2012, Serena captured her 4th Olympic gold medal.
Amen.
Okay.
And
were you watching that, Cameron?
Mm-hmm. I was there.
In addition to the Olympic gold she's won more Grand Slams than any other woman in history. Those are major tournaments in tennis.
That's a big deal.
Oh, okay.
She's won 23 of those total. And she and her sister, Venus, have won more doubles than any other team in history other than one other pair. So she literally...
Who?
The Legion of Doom.
Oh my gosh, they are good at it.
23 Grand Slams? Is that like once a year? Because that's a lot of years.
Yeah, no, it really is. Every year there's one she wins it.
Can you win multiple Grand Slams? I don't know.
Nobody
knows the rules.
Here's the thing. In tournament prize money,
yeah,
she's accumulated $100 million. And she has
just prize money.
I feel like you should win more.
That's just prize money. That's not including sponsorships.
Right. Okay,
that's not including. That's insane to me. And the best part about it all is until this day, as of 2021, she still calls Florida home. She resides in North Miami.
Wow. Okay.
She's an absolute legend. She leans into Florida, so we lean into you, Serena Williams.
Wow.
What an amazing athlete.
Who would have guessed?
Listen, okay, here's the question.
Okay.
You take us 3.
Can we beat her?
Oh, no.
You line us up on one side of a tennis court.
Yeah.
You give us each 2 rackets.
Right.
Okay.
So there's 6 rackets on our side.
Versus one Serena.
Versus one Serena.
Smoked.
I think we can take her.
Smoker.
Yeah.
Serena, we have...
we're doing windmills the entire time.
Oh, easily.
We have
That's why I started up.
100%. We've got some mutual friends. Yep. So I just want to go ahead and reach out and say, Serena, will you accept our challenge? 3 of us versus you. 6 rackets to 1.
I can almost guarantee she's going to ignore this and act like she didn't hear it at all.
I would too.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
3 Karstens want to come after me?
Oh my gosh, yeah, top 500.
You know how sometimes whenever fighters want to fight above like their pay grade, they talk trash?
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now with Serena.
Is this trash talking?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Hey, remember Karsten, Serena?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're wearing polos now,
remember 1994 Serena?
Yeah.
So obviously she was raised right? She achieved success.
Yeah.
Dude, it was intense though.
You two guys are raising kids.
Right.
I know you haven't taken them to Compton.
We haven't done that.
No, I took them to Winter Haven though.
Took them to
Okay.
Jesus.
God bless.
Took him to Bartow.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't go that far.
Okay,
that's
listen,
pretty bad.
That's some local geographical Florida humor.
Yeah.
At 157. Thank you for listening to us. The start of year 4, brand new studio. We cannot wait for you people to see
There's
it.
big things.
We really can't wait for you to see it. And we said it in the start. We're able to go further faster because of our Patreon. Like you guys are so good to us. We love you. Patreon.com/FMOFM podcast. Our handle across all social media is FMOFM podcast. We just love getting to know you and talking to you.
They will be the first to see us in the new studio.
You'll be the first to see us. Sign up on Patreon. Get your sneak peeks. Come hang out with us.
And tell a friend.
Please. Tell your friends. Serena, we love you. Just kidding. Love you so much.
Yep.
Love you. Bye-bye.